Yes, good morning to all. This chapter we have discussed about the liberalization, privatization and globalization. We started introduction, the background of new economic reforms of 1991, why it came into existence because of we had a great financial crisis in 1980s. To overcome the financial crisis, India approached the two international financial institutions which are IMF and IBRD. The IBRD is also known as World Bank. Okay, so they have sanctioned the loan facility or the money facility under certain condition. That conditions are only came into the form of liberalization, privatization and globalization. And last class we have discussed about the liberalization. You know that liberalization is a process of removing the government restriction and control on all economic activities. Okay ma. Now liberalization measures also we have discussed. In that there are 5 measures were there. Deregulation of Indian industries, financial sector reforms, tax reforms, next trade and investment reform and foreign exchange reform. So many things we have discussed, and today we are going to discuss the remaining 2 more concepts, which are privatization and globalization. Okay, now what do you mean by privatization? Privatization refers to the transfer of ownership or management of public sector enterprises to private people. Hope you can see after 1991 so many sectors have given to the private participation also. Hospitals, education and transport and communication. Before it was only owned by government. Even road transport also nowadays they are giving for the private sector under the BOLT system, which means build, own, lease, transfer, and BOOT system, build, own, operate, transfer, which means they will give in a lease or tender to construct the roads and develop the road, and the private people they take a tender or lease and they do the construction and they will maintain for the 5 years. You could have seen in the road toll gate and all, the private companies only used to collect the toll gate amount for the first 5 years. Why first 5 years the government is giving to them to maintain? Because if they put and return to the government, later on they can't charge or they can't ask the private people to maintain or renovate the road. So minimum 5 years is guarantee. So the 5 years they should maintain properly and they have to see whether the quality of road is good, then they will return to the, they will submit to the government. So this is the privatization, which means maximum public sector undertakings. Maximum in the sense there are 2 kind of transfer of ownership, 49% and 51%. Okay, there are 2 kind of privatizations are there. If there is a 49% of share of public sector undertakings which is given to the private sector, means what will happen? The entire rights, which mean production or fixing the prices and profit sharing, everything in the hands of government. Okay, that is strategy sharing, strategy investment. And one more thing is there, which is 51%, which means the 51% they may sell to the private people, which mean public people, and the remaining 49% they keep with themselves. So that time the private people also get equal rights to take a decision about the economic activities. So I repeat again, privatization refers to the transfer of ownership of public sector enterprises to the private people. Okay ma. Next under the privatization, see here, the government companies are converted into private companies in 2 ways. How they convert to the private people? There are 2 ways. Number 1, by withdrawal of the government from ownership and management of public sector companies. Okay, by withdrawal. That's what now the discussion is going now about the railway sector. So by withdrawal of government from ownership and management of public sector companies and by outright sale of public sector companies, which means entire shares of a public sector companies which is ready to sell in a open market. Okay, these are the 2 ways of doing the privatization. Okay, so here the privatization can be through the process of disinvestment also can be done. It is also a kind of privatization only. See here, disinvestment. What do you mean by disinvestment? Disinvestment refers to the process of transferring the ownership from the public sector to the private or public through the sale of equity of public sector to private sector. Already I told you it is the sale of part of public sector undertaking into private sector is known as disinvestment. Sale of part of shares, okay, the public sector undertaking shares, for example ITA company or HAL company or AXYZ, any public sector undertaking, if they are selling the some percentage of shares of these public sector company to private sector, mean those who are purchasing, they also get a equal rights and profit and decision making power, everything. So this is known as privatization. Why the government wants to give to private sector? You know that before 1980, maximum burden, the government after independence, they had so many administrative issues because so many hierarchical order was there to get a sanction or expansion or production activity or fixing the prices. So many issues were there and unable to maintain the administration. So many losses due to the maintenance charge only, they have to spend more for the administration of a public sector undertaking, but getting income from public sector undertaking was very less. So this was become a burden for public sector undertakings, okay, government. So that's what the international financial institution insisted government or India to give for freedom to the economic agents. Private people also let participate. They will also do the best. So they gave the chance to the private people. This is known as privatization. Okay ma, it is the transfer of part of sale of shares, public sector undertaking holdings to the private. Okay, this is the disinvestment. I repeat again, disinvestment meaning, disinvestment refers to the process of transferring ownership from the public sector to the private. Okay, next we are going to discuss about the globalization. Yes, this is also one of the implementation of or effect of new economic reforms, ma'am. LPG, in that G stands for globalization. See here, globalization refers to the opening up of a home country into the world economy or world market. Okay, after independence, I told you there was no international trade. So what happened? So they can't export our excess of surplus, good surplus to the foreign country, and they can't import where there is shortage within the country. So this was happened. So that's what they decided to opening up a home economy into the foreign world. So now you can export and import many things. Our people going and doing services in foreign country and the income inflow to our domestic country, domestic economy. The same way the foreigners come and do the services. It can be a financial service or health service or educational service, okay, or software service, XYZ. Even we are doing the import and export of goods, which is tangible items, isn't it? Which are tangible items. So this and all happening after 1991. Okay, I repeat again, globalization refers to the opening up of home economy into the world market. Okay ma. So in this one of the outcome of globalization is outsourcing. As I said, people, financial services, bank keeping, even you can attend the USA universities, colleges, the higher studies and all. Many people you could have here, they are studying from the UK or USA, MS they are studying, MD they are studying through online. So how they are doing? Because of globalization outcome only. So outsourcing, what do you mean by outsourcing? One of the important outcome of globalization is outsourcing. Outsourcing refers to the where a company hires regular services from external sources, mostly from other countries. Even you can see in your education institution or many offices and factories, suppose if you take an example of a software company, they'll be having a vendor services, which means catering from some other company, maybe MTR or A2B or some other company, XYZ company will come and do the lunch catering services. They don't give the provision because nowadays the software companies and all big shopping mall, they can't do the cooking provisions inside the software company because it is very difficult and dangerous. So to avoid this risk, the companies are giving chance to do the services. So those people, they will produce there and they will sell in the company during the lunch time. Vendor services and cleaning services and record keeping and maintenance and watchman, even security services, everything is from hired from other outsiders, which means they keep a franchisee. Those franchisee will hire their employees for the software company. Okay, this is known as outsourcing. Before, if the company is A, that company only recruit all kind of employees to the company, and they only sell the salary, they only pay the salary. But here, no need of paying. They will recruit one franchise, which means sub office. That sub office will take in charge of hiring these services. So one of the important outcome of globalization is outsourcing. Outsourcing refers to the where a company hires regular services from external sources, mostly from other countries. This is known as outsourcing. You have a 1, 2 marker and 4 marker about this question mark. Very important and simple. See here, before it was provided within the country, but after globalization, the country hiring the services from external sources, especially from foreign countries. Here, services refers to voice-based businesses, which mean BPO or call centers, banking services, clinical services, record keeping, teaching, etc. are being outsourced by companies in developed countries to India. From developed countries we are taking, and companies from developed countries are outsourcing their services from India due to lower cost, better skill and accuracy. Of course, not only we people are hiring from external sources, even the foreign countries, developed countries also hiring. You can see in USA, most of the people in software company, the higher position and the knowledgeable person from India only. Okay, so the companies from developed countries also outsourcing their services from India, because our Indian people are doing the better they have a better soft skill and skill knowledge, and they do the service with lower cost. They don't bargain about the salary, they do the service with perfection. So that's what our value of our Indian labor is more in the international market. Next, the availability of skilled labor power at lower wages has made India as a destination for global outsourcing. See, the availability of skilled manpower at lower wages. This is the special feature of Indian labor ma. We do the best one and we get a less one, it seems. We accept for everything. So that is the thing. For the demand for Indian labor is more in the global market. So this is the outsourcing ma. Now we are concluding with the new economic policy or new economic reforms of 1991, which is liberalization, privatization and globalization. Liberalization, which means it is the process of removing the restriction and control of government on all economic activities. Okay, and next one, privatization, which means transfer of sale of part of public sector undertaking holdings into private sector. And globalization, which means opening up of home economy into foreign countries. Okay, thank you children, keep learning.